Hey, thanks for tuning in to Dog Trouble Channel here on YouTube. I appreciate you guys dropping by to check out my videos. Today we're going to try something a little bit different. I'm headed out towards Nashville, actually a little bit past Nashville right now. I'm getting ready to cross over the Tennessee state line. Got to go help some folks with a dog who is, well, basically described as an alpha dog. Hey, welcome back. Well, a couple hours passed. I didn't get a chance to get my camera out and get any video while I was working on this consultation. You guys are going to have to bear with me, seeing as how I'm using my Sprint Trio not only to take pictures but do my videos. I didn't really have a way to video myself along with the dog and the client and the whole 9 yards. So, I guess you guys will have to wait until I can find an extra person to carry along to run a camera and get a decent enough camera to do the trick. I know the audio on this thing kind of sucks, but you guys are just going to have to bear with me for the time being. So to recap today's case, I was called out to help some folks with a dog named Titan. Titan was a little bit overexcitable, but Titan thought that he owned the house. Titan had what was described to me as an alpha dog syndrome, but that wasn't really the case at all. Titan was a good dog, and when I got there, he was excitable, running back and forth from window to window, jumping, barking. I walked in the house. Of course, he was attempting to jump up on me as he greets everybody, seeing as how he believes it's his job to run the house. Now, it's obviously not all right for a dog to think that he can run the house. You see, that's where pack leadership comes in. The critical problem that we had here was Titan's owners really weren't sure what to do to establish themselves as the pack leader. Pack structure is something that we have to keep in mind whenever we're dealing with dogs. Big dogs, small dogs. If you don't show your dog leadership, your dog's not really going to know who to follow. And that's kind of the problem. You may have heard me say that on some of the news clips that I've been on. He was having a problem. Nobody was showing him leadership. Now, he had been sent off to an obedience school where he stayed for a week or so, and he came back, and of course things were a little bit better, but as that wore off, Titan's behavior started to get back to be domineering again. Titan basically tried to own the home. He had begun marking in different parts of the house, and not going to the bathroom, but marking as in ownership, as if he was owning this bit of territory and that bit of territory. And these folks really didn't know what to do about that. And along with all of that, they were just really tired of him jumping up on the windows, yapping at everybody who walked by. They were having some severe problems on the walks. There's several neighborhood dogs where Titan would just go crazy, and the neighborhood dogs would go crazy. They had even had an altercation with one of the neighborhood dogs, where one of the neighborhood dogs lunged out of the yard and came after Titan because of his unstable energy. Now then, after the appointment, I was kind of able to make a pretty big difference with these folks. I wish I could have got some video before and after, but like I said, once I got involved in the consultation, I really didn't have a chance to think about getting my camera phone out, taking videos, you know, the whole 9 yards, seeing how I don't have a camera crew to follow me around. It's kind of difficult to stop in the middle of a consultation and just say, hey, wait, we got to video this. So rather than interrupting the natural flow of the consultation, I just figured I'd make this kind of like some footnotes, some video footnotes, so that you guys can kind of have an idea of what goes on in my consultations and what I help folks with. One of the biggest problems that Titan had was that he was constantly allowed to run the house ever since he was a puppy. He was never given any rules and limitations and boundaries of what he could and couldn't do. Titan is a very, very smart dog. Now, after just a few minutes that I was there, they began to already notice a difference in the way Titan behaved. And the great thing is, Titan, being a smart dog, he's a really quick learner. I often tell folks, you know, the consultation will last as long as it takes you to understand. Your dog will get it a lot quicker than you will. It's kind of funny, dogs do learn quicker than their people. But in this particular instance, we went ahead and took a walk, and on the walk, I was able to kind of get an idea of how Titan behaved, and was kind of able to guide Titan's owners into walking him properly and showing them what to do in the instances when he got overly excitable. Now, these instances where neighborhood dogs go crazy, Titan would go on alert, his ears would perk up, and he'd be raring to go. I saw you laughing at me. That's all right. It's pretty funny. But he would be all raring to go, and so we practiced asking Titan to be calm and submissive in those instances. Every one of these instances where they had a problem, we simply asked Titan to sit and be calm. And at first he was having some problems with it, but after just a couple of quick minutes, very minor correction and redirection of what we wanted Titan to do, practice calm, submissive sitting at these instances. Titan's owner was able to take him back to around these same areas with these same dogs and get the exact same result without me. Oftentimes folks think, well, yeah, my dog will listen to you, but after you leave, he won't listen to me. Well, if you believe that, you're right. But it's absolutely not the case. And it's only put in place by your beliefs in the situation. This owner was able to see that just simply practicing calm leadership and giving a very gentle correction, as soon as Titan got excited, Titan would look up, pay attention, and then sit right down to become calm and submissive. Even one particular dog where the owners had an instance where this neighborhood dog had jumped out of the yard and came after and attacked Titan, we were able to have Titan sit calmly, and the dog in the yard immediately became quiet, sensing the leadership energy and sensing the control that we had over the pack. You see, when you're walking through with an uncontrollable dog, a dog that thinks it's in control, a dog that's out of balance, all the other dogs in the neighborhood are going to respond. And in this particular instance, I was able to demonstrate to these folks that simply asking for submission in this particular instance will give quite a different result. In fact, the dog immediately stopped barking that was in the yard. I had my back to this dog, of course, because we weren't trying to confront the dog. We were asking Titan to practice calm submission while we were letting the other dog calm down. And amazingly enough, it took seconds for the other dog to just calm down. Now, to wrap this up, we went in through the house, we walked around through all the rooms, and I kind of showed these guys how to claim the territory for their own, explained to them the basics of the little behaviors that they were missing. And we even ran through some practice runs with me coming to the door, knocking on the door, ringing the doorbell, and I taught them how to respond to Titan and how to stop his domineering of the doorway and the windows before it escalated all the way up to level 10 or 15. I showed him how to stop it at level 1. And even though I decided to have them keep Titan's prong collar on while they're at home because it gives them an extra little tool to keep Titan submissive, I showed them how to correct and redirect Titan without touching him. They didn't have to grab the prong collar to keep him from yapping at the door. All it took was just a simple vocal command, just a simple vocal direction. And before long, all they had to do was go, hey. And Titan would settle down and sit down, even with the door ringing, even with banging on the door. And then when we entered the door, there was no jumping up on. Titan was very respectful and was definitely making amazing progress. Now, for those of you who think that it takes weeks and years to get behavior to change, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't. You can get behavior to change instantly. Your dog doesn't remember the past 3 or 4 years. Your dog only knows now. If you become the pack leader now, you can begin to get your dog back under control and finally begin to have a happy, balanced dog. Now, since I'm driving and talking to you guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because I don't want to run into somebody or, heaven forbid, get pulled over for talking to you guys while I'm trying to drive up the road. So, you guys tune back in. I'm going to keep updating these videos. I'm going to bring you guys more informational videos. I'm going to bring you guys more tips. Keep an eye on my blog. Make sure you swing by and bookmark dogtrouble.net. That's www.dogtrouble.net.